God told me today, Rich, go. I want you to speak so hard that you heal the wounds and the scars of those walking outside of even Clay Street's doors. So, pardon me, Pastor, but you may have to excuse my language. And no reason to get nervous or nothing. I'm not about to start blurting worthless curses in my lines and verses just to create a timed urge and emergence for class. See, I'm aligned with the divine, so what's certain is I'm a lyrical surgeon, inserting God's word in to nurture a person who, instead of living dead, craves to live their life saved. So these words I'm purging are serving a higher purpose. But the fact remains the same, and that's, you may have to pardon me and excuse my language, because basic English structure ruptured when its roots refused to tame it. See, my language's roots grew through the same abuse, anguish, and hurt of Lamar Burton as Kunta and Roots went through. See, my language's earlier use has surfaced before the slave trades and purchases. In fact, it can be traced back in books as far back as the 2 tablets of God engraved for Moses at the burning bush. Some say it can even be traced back before then to man's first sin when Adam and Eve were tricked by the serpent in the Garden of Eden, later to be known as the land of Cush. Even skeptics must accept and admit when my language's terminology is used properly, it has the power to overcome anything. So it seems like Marines might rather use my language than M16s to fight me free from the prior demands of Bush. So if you can't respect my dialect, well, then I guess you could just make like Lupe Fiasco on a skateboard on asphalt and just kick and push. Because my language is that language of God. And this poem is proof. So I began where he began in Genesis, Exodus, Leviticus, Numbers, Deuteronomy, Joshua, Judges, and Ruth. Just so I could be here tonight to give you this truth. Because the most important part of a poet's poetry is supposed to be the ability to plant a productive seed in a person who would probably perceive the pitch of their own soul, too cold for the possibility of regrowth or new life. So my words expose the leaves of hope on a tree of life by teaching people to be more partial to the perception of their third eyesight when life storms are present by keeping those physical eyes shut tight. And I push this pen to give you reason to pretend that this life is just like the movie Poltergeist, because you can take the power away from the evil predator by just staying away from his TV and walking towards his light. And please don't be surprised when during your plight towards being the bride of Christ, immerse the holy hands and were crucified with spikes, and you see that they aren't white. So I write. Because despite the overwhelming reaction to the passion of Christ, the sad thing is we still don't know the true meaning of sacrifice. I mean, God gave his only begotten Son to empathize with our strife, and we still refuse to praise him. On account of his face may have been painted white as a tool of racism, and now that blatant hatred in us has replaced the space where love should reside. So I write to turn on the light inside the dark hearts and rebuke the spirits that choose to take part in your condemnation. I write not to amuse, but so I may be used to be that spark that ignites your soul's salvation. I write because God said he needs me to, and after all he's seen me through, I'd be a fool for not intravenously feeding you. Forgive me for deceiving you. I say, forgive me for deceiving you, because you may have came out tonight just to hear your favorite group sing a tune and feel lovely. But God has me secretly turn every venue I enter into a Bible study. So I got to write tonight. Something that'll save a brother's life. Stop a drug dealer from paying a bigger price, like 6 inches of glass between him, his kids, and what could have been his wife. I got to write tonight. Because a silent testimony have never saved the soul. Intentions only of feeding the hungry have never filled a plate or a bowl. In fact, it can be equated with putting space in a hole. So tonight I thank everyone on the roster for taking their place and their role. Because God wanted me to let the devil know that when he shows up like show enough asking who's the master, I throw that question right back at him and let him know this ex-criminal / B-boy has mastered God's game like Leroy, and I got so much talent in this house tonight. All